Good morning. Happy Wednesday. Oh gosh. Golly, they are on fire on the algorithm right now. There's a couple things. I don't know if this is true or not. Golly, I hope not. It's so hard these days to know what's true or not. I err on the side of caution, truly. But I saw something pop up on my feed in regards to Kanye playing a concert down in Tampa. I'm pretty sure this is true. And I think it was Rick Scott or something like that, a Senate, taking it to the podium and vocalizing rights in reference to the amphitheater that Kanye is maybe going to play at, and they're trying to ban him from not playing in Florida. Go figure. This is hilarious. We're talking about music here. And they feel they have the right to dictate where these artists get to play because the artists don't fall in line to them, calling him whatever. I ain't even going to say it on this app, because the principle behind Kanye's West that transpired a few years ago was not that it was just in reference to the circumstances of how our nation is being ran right now, that if you see between the truth, you see between the realities of what we're controlled by, yet we're the problem and we're the anti-Semites or the nuts. And it's like, this is what gaslighting looks like. This is what manipulation looks like. This is a pure example of it. And I think it's just so comical because Florida is one of those states that dances on the side of like, oh, we're for the people and we stand against the left, but we're bought and paid for like everybody else in the camp, everyone else in the camp. And if you listen to the words in his music, particularly his new album, there is nothing wrong with it. There's purity, there's greatness actually within the words. There's spirituality, there's religion, there's faith, there's hope, there's belief. And this is what these people do. They want to stop this type of movement within for the people. Stop a concert for people to go to and listen to the music. It's absolutely ludicrous. Like, there are bigger things for you to be worrying about, where our tax dollars are going to you to actually do your job, and you're not doing that. There's bigger things that you could be worrying about in Florida right now, politicians. I can name a few. Like, why don't you get your corruption under control within your state? Why don't you get your funny money under control? Why don't you check some of these nonprofits you got rolling up in this little state? Why don't you check some of these consulting companies? Why don't you check some of these real estate groups? Why don't you check some of these coalition groups? I mean, we could go down the list. Take a little stroll down Destin Lane. Go to Santa Rosa Beach. Come on. Take a walk down Walton County, please. Please. You know? Like, my gosh. It's just crazy to me. This is what I'm talking about. It's frustrating. Poor Kanye. But anywho, so that popped up. And then there was another thing that popped up in reference to, good gracious, everything with this UFC fight. My gosh, there's a lot of nuggets that popped up there, huh, guys? This video. Yeah, they told people a lot of things, didn't they? They got a lot to say. They do in the back. You should be careful of those people that have things to say in the back, but yet they don't come and talk to the person, nor do they do it up front. Better yet, do it in the law system. Do it in the judicial system. Nah, they don't want to do that. They don't want to do that. You see how much they have control with this Tyler Robinson case. They're losing the camp. They don't want to take my thing to get to the courts. Believe me, we would have already done that.
They told everyone that you constantly played the victim, that you had arrested development, and that you were too impulsive to make good choices for yourself as they proceeded to try to involve a fake conservatorship over your energy, going as far as bringing in your friends, neighbors, and family members based on nothing but lies, where they thought they were being the righteous neighborhood watch. In fact, they were becoming complicit in crimes that they had no knowledge of. Why? Because they were becoming a right hand, an extension of your abusers that you went no contact with. Here's the deal. Those narcissistic people in your life saw your light, saw the way you magnetically drew people into you, and they became envious of it. So they wanted to emulate your energy as their own, but you cannot duplicate authenticity and have it hit the same exact way. It doesn't work like that. They wanted to negate their shadow work, but pump fake and having a healed energy. So when they emulated your energy and it didn't hit the same, that envy turned to hate, which turned to malice, which they told everyone that you constantly played the...
Malice. That's a big word. That's a big word. There's a lot of definition there. Envy, hate, and malice. It can take you down really, really dirty roads, really nasty paths. You start walking down characteristics like that. Believe me, I can name a plethora of people that took that route. They did indeed. And I know they're feeling the heat. They are feeling the heat within their consciousness. Oh, definitely. Now they walk into this world, act like everything's rosy-posy. For sure. But you just leave that alone. You let that be. You don't meet people where they're at. You don't. You rise above it. Especially when things don't make sense. When things don't make sense, it's just not for you to make sense of. You allow people space to figure out whatever it is they got going on. You don't want to jump into that camp. You want to keep trudging on. That's something I've had to learn, very much so. Certain things are just not for me to fight with, get a reaction with. That's the biggest thing, is they want a reaction. A reaction to what? Your mistreatment? No, thank you. No, you're not going to get a reaction out of me. Not by any means. I have control of my emotions. I have control of my actions. I have control of my thoughts. I have control of my opinions, my beliefs, and my faiths. Nobody else has control over that. And it's a dang shame that we live in a world that thinks they have the power over these things. It's a dang shame. And then they believe in their mind and their heart that they're doing right by the people when they know they're bought and paid for. They know they're bought and paid for, and they know that people are suffering tremendously. And it breaks my heart that we have now crossed over to a country in a populace that has plethora of organizations, plethora of three-letter digits, plethora within the military, where people are having to deal with these unfavorable circumstances, like, for example, the VA. Where you have so much corruption and deception and deceit and betrayal within the organizations that you now have to deal with these things within the work environment, because you are on the precipice of a choice of whether or not your family is going to have a livelihood, or whether you stand on your morals, your values, and your integrity. And that's where we're at right now, and it's a dang shame. It's a dang shame that people in a lot of power don't see a big problem in this when they can make change. A little bit of change goes a long way, and they're just choosing not to. They're allowing the system to keep failing, and that's the biggest thing that I think we need to start really seeing on the grand scale. But people see that in their own time. You can't pressure that. There's another message that I got. I'm making another video.